Welcome to the future. Hello, beautiful people. We are live. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Are we live on Twitch?
No.
No Twitch today. Okay, that's totally cool. What are we doing today? We're going to do AMA, Ask Me Anything. You guys can come at me with any kind of business-related question. You want to grow your freelance practice or your freelance business. Maybe you're an in-house designer and you have some business questions. Anything related to a business question, I'm ready to field with you guys today. And before we do that, I want to say hello to the team. Hey guys, what's up?
Hey Chris.
Hey.
How's it going?
Thursday. Is it Thursday today?
It's Thursday, but it feels like Friday. I don't know.
I know it does, yeah.
Aaron's a little sassy today.
Stop mocking Molly already, Aaron.
Not feeling him.
Not feeling it yet. Okay, you guys, we're like old veterans now. This show should be super smooth. But even though it's super smooth, we're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it raw. Roll the titles. All right, joining me today is a bunch of people on the Zoom call. We're going to get to them in a little bit. I have a couple of business things to do before we do that. And if you guys want to join us on the Zoom call, Molly, drop them the link.
Okay.
We can hold up to 100 people so we can join. But here's a couple things. In case you're new to Zoom, first of all, make sure you're muted. Don't come in here with your background noise. I don't want to hear you washing dishes.
Hold on, Chris, your audio's a bit low. Erica, can we boost him
We can
up?
get a little aggressive.
Can we boost him up a little?
All right. People are saying it's a little low.
Boost it up louder. And can you turn our headphones down? Here, I'll do it.
All right, hold on, guys. We're dealing with some technical stuff. Maybe I can play some music.
Also, Chris, can you make me the host? Not co-host of the Zoom.
Okay. Why?
I don't know. It's not allowing me to mute people.
Okay.
We're ready?
Sorry about that audio issue. We got a rookie on the ones and twos.
Ones and twos today.
Give her a
Amateur
break.
hour. Okay, give her a break. Break her off.
So the
peace.
rookie left, so it's all good.
We got the pro in.
Here, it's a pro.
Okay, I'll make Molly the host.
Thank you.
Go, host. Okay, everybody's muted, you guys. Molly's going to be talking to you guys on the chat box here. So talk to her. Let her know what your questions are, and she'll be chatting with you, and then we'll queue you guys up to be ready to join us on the show. Live. Things are happening live. Okay, let me go back to my deck here. What is going on? Okay, so we got some business to take care of, but first, I want to let you guys know how to join the Zoom call. We can hold up to 100 people. Molly will share that link with you guys.
Dropping it right now.
She's dropping like it's hot. We need a sound effect for that, dropping like it's hot. Okay, she's going to drop that. You guys can join in, and we will have a discussion with you. We'll be doing this, I don't know, until I get really hungry. You know how this works.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive into the deck. This is the deck. Look at that. We got a new logo. It's AMA, Ask Me Anything. Just having fun with offsetting strokes.
Beautiful.
Just basic shapes. Okay, I just want to remind you guys, if you like this content, please become a sustaining member. And I think Molly will share that with you guys right now. We're counting on you guys. We really are. And look at this. 300 beautiful, wonderful human beings who are reciprocating.
That is amazing.
It is amazing.
People. It was
I
just
love that.
A couple weeks ago, and we had maybe
five.
So thank you.
We're getting there.
Amazing.
Now, we're still far, far away in a galaxy far, far away from where we want to be. We need to get to 20,000, you guys. So those of you guys that are stepping up. And it's kind of interesting to me to see where people are donating from. We're getting a lot of European countries. Finland, Norway, the UK, big support, big love there. Sweden, lots of places in the United States, places I don't expect. Places from India, Vietnam. Just feeling the love, you guys. All right, this is how you do it. You can become a sustaining member. You go to thefuture.com and you go to the shop, and this is how you do it. It's $5. Or you can give more, which some people have, which even blows me even more away, Molly. Because some of the sustaining members don't just donate $5 a month. They go to $10 and even $20 a month. That means they're carrying the weight of 4 people.
Wow, that's amazing.
So that number, that 300 and whatever number, is actually bigger than that because of how they're doing it. Okay, and before we get into the show, I just want to say something. We're finding out that there are teachers out there that are watching our show, our live stream, with their class. So first of all, I just want to salute you. Hats off to you. Beautiful. Thank you very much. and I'm going to shout out to some people. And if you guys are a teacher, it doesn't matter if you're in high school, college, whatever, university, let me know, and I will give you a shout out next time so that you can all applaud, I guess, in class. We love you. We love you. All right. Jun Woo, he's in a typography class, or he's teaching a typography class at Penang University College in Georgetown, Penang. Welcome. Welcome to your students. All right. Then there's David Block. He's doing a typography class at El Dorado High School in the Digital Media Arts Academy. I hope I got that part right. And then Alex, how would you say this? Buka? Alex Buka?
Yes, I think that's right.
Communication with Images at Uni College Design Department in South Africa. That's what he's doing. Okay. And then Christiane Louise, Portfolio Design. Hey, Aaron, I'm trying to do a read here.
Sorry.
Okay. Christiane Louise from doing a portfolio design class at UVNS in Cebu in the Philippines. Rachel Fibish, Computer Graphics, Bays Yakov High School, Boston, Mass. Speaking of Boston, I'm going to be in Boston.
When? Next weekend?
No, like on Monday. I'm going to be at MIT doing a workshop on branding.
Awesome.
Yeah, so awesome. Last but not least, Mr. David Moon, who runs the Radius program over at Cal State Northridge, CSUN. What up? All right. Next little bit, I'm going to read some mail. I'm going to read the mail.
Mail time.
There's music for this, yeah?
Yeah, I think
All right.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just played the thing.
All right. So first up, I saw that. And then I saw Molly talk over it, so I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
All right. I want to say thank you to Eugene and Vadim. They're originally from the Ukraine. They relocated to Poland. They run a company called Seven Ninjas. They came by the studio a couple days ago, and they brought me something. So let's get back to my camera. Look at this, what they brought me, you guys. I want to show you this. Look at this.
What is that?
It's, I don't know. It's like honey or something. This is pretty cool. I can't read any of this.
Ooh.
Oh, it's buckwheat honey, multi-flower honey,
Where's that from?
honeydew honey, and honey with raspberry. So they're very sweet on us.
I love that.
Little gourmet jars of honey.
Can I
This
try
is,
some?
No, it's
Oh.
for me.
Okay, thanks.
You can look at me trying some though. And they
All right,
also
all right.
gave me a t-shirt, so I'm going to open this up, you guys. Let me check this out. And we got a couple things to do, and then we're going to get to the AMA. And Molly's talking to you guys right
Yeah,
now. We're all queued up. This is what I got here. T-shirt. Oh, this is a small. And oh no, this is a medium. And they must run a little bit smaller in Europe because usually I'm a small or extra small, and this is really tiny. Seven Ninjas. They do development.
Ooh.
Some computer science guys,
there a
very
back?
smart.
No.
No, I don't think there's a back.
Cool. I
It's a
love
very
it.
nice
I
quality
love it because
shirt.
it's black.
You love it because it's
Yeah.
black. Okay.
I love it.
Anyways, let's read some more mail. This is a email from Alex Lim. I chanced upon your YouTube channel. I picked up the importance of making small talk. Since then, I initiate one small talk each day. So far, I have done 3. Since you are providing quality and real value, I feel prompted to give back. Keep making great videos. We will.
Thank you.
We feel it.
Yes.
Thank you very much. All right. Here's another one. You've opened up a whole new world for me of how to go about creative business. And all that layout and typography stuff you're sharing, I've grown more as an artist in the last few months that I did the previous 3 years because of you guys. Tavi Ranamets. I probably totally butchered that. Tavi, I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. I'm not going to go with Facebook, but what we're going to do right now, Molly, should we give stuff away to our sustaining members?
Yes, we should.
Is now the time, or do we wait till the end?
Time because I haven't read a question yet about management. It's about other things.
Okay, that's okay. We'll
Okay.
give the people time to warm up as to kind of
Okay.
what questions they want to have to ask us, okay? And that's totally cool. We haven't done an AMA business edition in a while, and I feel like, we want to balance things out. We've been doing a lot of logo design, typography, critiquing posters and things like that. You guys like that? The views show it, but we don't want to lose our roots. We want to do things that you can't find anywhere else, and that's to talk about the business stuff in a fully open and transparent manner. We're going to talk about how to manage people, perhaps.
How to
maybe
coworkers. Maybe.
manage difficult coworkers. Maybe we can talk a little bit about if you are a solopreneur and you're trying to figure out how to hire people. Maybe you've been burned in the past when you hired somebody and they dropped the ball. Or maybe they overcharge you for something and now you have buyer's remorse. You're a little gun shy to hire other people again. And we can deal with that. So if you guys have questions in that kind of realm, we're more than happy to jump on and talk to you about that.
Cool.
Okay, so let's cut to your camera, you guys. Now, I noticed something. I want to give away maybe 1 or 2 things today to sustaining members. If you're a sustaining member, if you've donated to the Futur via the Futur site, let's pick 1 poster to give away, and I want to give away something special.
Ooh, what's that?
Well, I'm going to tell you in a little bit.
Okay.
Molly, I'm going to give you the distinct honor of picking the first poster to give to somebody. If you guys want one of these posters, I was at Adobe Max. I bought these posters specifically to give to you, and some of the designers have come in here and said, don't give them away, we'll take them. But you know what? I have to give them away. So, Molly, put your finger on the first one. Which one is it?
It's out of frame.
Good job, Molly. Pick one that's in frame, will you?
Here.
Good job, Molly.
We can adjust this.
We can. Don't get seasick here, guys. Look away. Look away. Okay, there. Whoop. Oh, nice job. Nice job. Erica saved us. There we go. Nice and wide. Okay, so why don't you read it?
It's fall colors, the Grand Teton National Park.
All right, we're going to give that away. If you guys want that poster, can you read who's the artist?
Metallic ink.
Read who's the artist? Is it signed? Numbered? Anything?
It says made 59 PS.
Sit down, Molly. Sit down.
There's no artist on it.
It's almost like we didn't even prepare for the show. It's like you're reading it for the first time.
Name on it.
All right. Well, whatevs. Is it using metallic inks?
Yes, it is.
What metallic ink is it using? Can you describe it with words?
No, I can't.
All right, that's
it's
fine.
beautiful, though.
It's beautiful. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Molly, you got the graphic. Look at this, guys. I have a burner phone. I got an old iPhone 4 here. It's a classic. Oh, I love this design. It's got the metal edge. But now you guys can call me. You guys can call me on this phone. And we're going to take caller number what?
16.
We'll take caller number 16, you guys. Here's how we're going to do it. So people can call in live right now. Here's the phone number. It's 424-537-3377. Call me right now. 454-537-3377. Caller.
424.
I'm sorry, 424. I'm reading it backwards. 537-3377. If you're caller number 16, you guys can get the Grand Teton poster from the National Park series. Okay, that's caller number 1. Caller number 1. Cut back to me. Nope. Let me slide to answer. Sorry, you're caller number 1. Call back.
Good job. This is going great.
Hello, you're caller number 2. Call back. All right. I don't even know how to use my old iPhone. Hold on. I need to swipe this and unlock it. It's like there's no face recognition. There's no thumb recognition.
I know.
All right, keep calling. That's number 2. Okay.
Should we show the number again?
That's caller number 3. Tell them the number.
It's 424-537-3377.
That's caller number 4. Okay. And you guys joining us on Zoom, you can call me too.
We'll say this again. 424
Hey,
537
what is it doing?
3377.
Hey, I'm sorry, you're not the right caller. I gotta hang up. Bye.
What is that, caller number 5?
They're calling in too fast. I have one caller on hold while another caller's calling in.
Come on, Chris.
Okay, that's number 7. Let's just say that's number 7. It's going so fast. The iPhone 4 was not made to handle this kind of volume of calls. There, decline. That's caller number 8, you guys. Maybe 16 was too many.
Sorry. It was
Keep
our
calling.
lucky number.
They gave up. You guys can still call. Just keep calling. Give them the number again. Just read it to them.
424
That's number 9.
537 3377. We're at caller number what, Chris?
That's the caller number 9. So we're 7 away. There we go. That's caller 10.
When you call, you win a poster.
No.
The poster that I chose.
When you're at number 16.
When you're number 16.
Yeah. But you know what? I think we can do something with this.
What?
Hold on. Hey, you're calling number 11. Sorry. Call back.
11. We're at caller number 11. So close.
That's caller number 12.
Almost at 16.
That's number 12. We're getting really close.
12. We're at 12.
Should we have some music here?
Yeah. Play that jazzy music.
Okay, that's number 13 that's come in. We're getting real close.
424 537 3377. Caller number 16.
That's caller number 14. We're 2 away, you guys. We're 2 away. Excuse getting really exciting right now. Hello, who's this? Tim, you are caller number 15. Call back. Bye.
Oh my god.
Okay, here goes. Here comes.
Next caller.
Next caller gets it.
Next caller's gonna win.
Next caller gets it. He's like, I need to put this on speaker. How do I put it on speaker? I don't even know how to use my own phone anymore. Okay, guys, you can call one more time.
One more.
Here we go. There it is.
Here it is.
Hold on. Let me put you on speaker. Hey, who's this? Hello. You are caller number 16. What's your name?
My name is Hamza Shatila.
All right, you just won. Are you a sustaining member?
Oh my god, no, I'm not.
Oh, you're not sustaining. Goodbye.
Chris.
That's too late. Okay. Oh,
Next
it's not caller
caller.
17. I'm sweating in here.
Oh my god.
Is the air conditioning on? This is too exciting.
I don't
No,
know.
I know. I'm just kidding around.
Okay.
It is on. He's not a sustaining. You have to be a sustaining member. Okay, here we go.
I think you didn't make that clear. Yeah.
Of course I made it clear. Hello, who's this? They hung up.
All right, guys, come on.
Oh my gosh, this is too complicated, Molly. We'll have to
Sustaining
rethink
member.
this.
No, well.
You have to become a sustaining member. Maybe they thought they could call and then they hung up. I don't know what happened here. Molly,
Yeah.
who's
No.
going to be the caller?
I don't know. Sustaining members, step up. There's 300
Sustaining
of
member.
you.
If you're a sustaining member.
Someone must be watching.
If you donated.
Clear.
If you're a sustaining member, it was totally clear. Rewind the tape and you'll see.
Yeah. Aaron's just not here today.
Come on, dude. Did you guys put the phone number in the comments?
Yeah. I will right now.
Yeah, I didn't. So nobody's a sustaining member. Forget about it. I'll keep the poster.
No.
It's all good.
Someone's going to win this poster today.
There was somebody from Columbus, Ohio, New York, Tampa, Florida,
Someone says sustaining members are all working.
New York. You know what then? We'll have to pick it at random.
No.
No, nobody's called. Okay, here we go. Let's cross our fingers. This is from
Okay.
Olympia, Washington.
Okay, let's hear it.
Hold on, let me put you on speaker. Olympia, Washington, are you a sustaining member?
Hey, I did a super chat a number of times. Does that count?
Just say yes.
No, it doesn't count. You can't super chat it. Oh, how many times have you super chatted? How many times have you super chatted?
I did about 5 times, I think.
Okay, you know what? Aaron is saying give it to you because he's a softie. I'm going to give it to you. What's your name, man?
Oh, Micah Hansen.
Micah? Michael Hansen?
Yeah.
Micah? How do you spell your name, dude?
M-I-C-A-H.
Okay, Micah Hansen. All right. You know what we're going to do, Micah? I wrote your name down. You chat with Molly, and then she will get you your information, and we'll do this, all right?
We will do this.
All right, we're going to do this. Thanks for playing along. Thanks for supporting us, man. Take care.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care. Bye. Okay, that was Micah, and he is from, where's he from? He's from Olympia, Washington. Okay, that was bananas, you guys. That was super complicated. Yes, good job. Do we
no
have
one
applause?
Else is excited? We gave away our first poster.
Yeah.
I'm just going to fire the laser
Yes.
just because I got nothing else. All right.
All right.
I guess a lot of our sustaining members are not on the line.
Yeah, I guess.
So here's what
not.
we're going to do, you guys. I'm going to call an audible right now, and then we're going to get into the show. Here's the audible. I'm going to give somebody 15 minutes of consulting time with me.
Ooh.
Okay? 15 minutes of consulting time. And since a lot of our sustaining members are not watching right now, this instant, what I will do is then we'll just pick it at random and announce it on their next stream.
Okay, like pick those names out of a hat or something.
Yeah, we'll do it much more like digitally, but yeah,
Okay,
that's
cool.
the concept.
Cool.
All right, are we cool with that, you guys? Thanks for playing along. We'll continue to give posters and other kind of merch away to anybody that's supporting us. And you do have to be a sustaining member. So you guys consider it. Let's get going. So we got his name. It's Micah Hansen. Congratulations for winning the Grand Teton poster that Molly picked out for you. Well, let's dive into our Zoom call. Let's do it. Okay, Molly, have you picked out who's going to go?
I'm looking at these questions and let's see.
Your cell phone was not available and your voicemail was not set up. No, it was set up. It's a brand new phone. I'm sorry. Somebody was a sustaining member. Molly, are we ready?
Yeah, it's not going to be on the topic.
Well, great. Let's
focus
just get
on-
going.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
okay.
there's some good questions. I read a
Okay,
good one.
well, there's questions in the
Here,
live
Chris, I
chat.
have-
Okay.
question.
Okay. Aaron's got some questions here. All
What
right.
do you think about working with a remote salesperson as a freelancer or someone without an office space?
What do I think about working with a remote salesperson? I think sales could happen from anywhere. I don't think it matters that they are in your office. What's important is that they know your business, they know how to sell you, and so you probably do need to spend some time talking to them. Maybe you do a video chat or something like that. And once you get a good feeling that they know who you are and how to sell you, it doesn't really matter where they're from. Is that okay?
Yeah, what kind of things do you look for in a sales guy that doesn't have his own office?
I look for somebody who's really personable. I look for somebody who's very curious, that is going to ask open-ended questions, somebody that I like, because it's hard to sell things when you don't like that person. Those are good things. As a bonus, if they're really good looking, that helps too, because let's face it, people that are good looking get more doors open for them.
So good looking and personable?
Well, I put good looking at the very bottom. They need to be personable. They need to be curious, and they need to be friendly, someone that you would want to hang out with.
Someone you'd want to hang out with.
They probably have to have a really good phone voice. Maybe they'd have to be able to construct a really good email. I think those are critical factors. I just said as a bonus. Don't start with the looks. All right.
Right.
You know
Okay,
what?
I have
Are we
one.
ready? Okay. Who am I talking to?
I don't know.
Molly.
I'm figuring out how to say his name.
Well, just say it.
Koshik.
Koshik, where are you, man? Unmute yourself.
Unmute.
There he is. Koshik M.
Yeah, I unmuted him.
And you also have to pin him, I think. Koshik, you got your question? You ready, man? All right. That was a loss. Okay, who else? Is who in the Zoom call has a business-related question? You guys know how to use Zoom? It's been some time since we've done this.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Going great.
All right. You know what? Aaron, give me another question from YouTube or Facebook. Go ahead.
Okay, I haven't really had a chance here to read all the ones I like, but give me a second here. I'm just going to read a couple. How do you manage remote contract employees like freelancers? Okay, that's a good one, because I recently bought that book, 4-Hour Workweek. Are
Yeah.
you familiar?
I'm familiar.
And I guess it has
By
this-
Tim Ferriss.
Tim Ferriss, yeah. So I think that's something that a lot of people these days are interested in, me included, is how can I outsource small-time jobs like editing and stuff like that overseas? Like, how can a normal person do that? Like, that's not just for big businesses anymore, right?
No, that's for anybody.
Right. So I think that's interesting. What do you
Yeah.
think?
So you guys, there's this thing where you're what is it called? You're in arbitrage. You sell something or you buy something for a low price, you sell it for a higher price. It's how you make money. It's how the world works. It could be a piece of bread. If you're a baker, you buy the ingredients at a lower price. You put some labor into it, and then you sell the bread at retail price. So it might cost you 30 cents in ingredients, $2 in labor. You got to sell it for $5. Okay.
Okay.
That means.
Oh, sorry.
So okay, I'm just in the middle of explaining a big concept here. All right. Anyways, let me just answer Aaron's question. So what you want to do is you want to look for a bunch of people that do what it is that you sell. So in Aaron's case, he is a videographer. Aaron, you guys can kill your mic, please, if that's going to happen. All right. Anyways, what was I saying? Okay, let's say you do motion graphics and video production. That means you're probably going to need an editor, a colorist, a cinematographer, or a bunch of cinematographers. You might need a specialist that does drone footage, a Steadicam stuff, or gimbal camera moves. What else would you need? Stylist, casting director. So these are all people that are going to support what it is that you do. Now, when it comes to video production, most of this stuff is going to happen in the area that you shoot when you're doing the production. But once you're done with production and you go into post-production, you can send that work out to anyone, anywhere. What do you need to know from them? You need to know, can you afford them? How much do they charge to do the work that they do? You might ask them questions about their process, like how do you normally work with a client? And they should be able to succinctly articulate that to you as to how they work. And if they can't do that, that's a sign that maybe there's poor communication or maybe they haven't done this enough times. So one way that they might respond, let's say it's a remote editor, they're going to say, look, I have a Dropbox account. I set it up. You put the files there. We have a conversation or two. We talk about some references, which I will send to you. And then I'll do a rough cut. And then depending on how long you want me to work on this and how many changes there are, this is what I charge you. I charge you by the day, or I charge you a project fee or an hourly rate. So you need to know if you can afford them. Obviously, you're talking to them because their portfolio, their body of work speaks to you. You're not going to call somebody that does horrible work. Okay. Now, there's a balance though between price and quality of work. Usually they're connected and sometimes they're not. This is the beautiful thing about having a global community of creatives because the cost of living in some countries is quite low. So they can actually do really good work while not charging a whole lot of money. Hope that makes sense. So you're going to have this sliding scale. When the budgets afford it, you can hire the best person at the highest price. Or sometimes when the budget doesn't afford it, you're going to have to find somebody who's pretty good but can work within the budget that you have. Now, don't despair. Let's just say there's a really hotshot artist that you really want to work with and the price point is out of your range. Let's just say they charge you, I don't know, $1,000 a day to do editing. Okay, let's say that's the price. Just nice round numbers. And say you have a really cool project. You're going to cut a music video or do something really cool. You can call them up or you can email them. It's like, I know your rate is $1,000. I would love to work with you. I've admired your work for a really long time. Flatter them a little bit. And then say, I can only afford $650 a day. I'm not sure if you would even consider this, but if you're looking to do a music video with me, I would love to collaborate with you. And then let them decide. Don't automatically assume because their rate is X and you only have Y that they're going to say no. That's not always the case. And you can talk to them. So I'm looking for affordability, quality of work, ease of working with them. Like how well do they take direction? Are they prima donnas? Do they have a big attitude? And how quickly can they respond? Are they super responsive? Are they communicative to me? Okay? Are we good with that? Yeah. That was a good question.
I have a
now, Molly, you got a bunch of things. Go ahead, fire away.
Rags in the chat. And
oh,
Zoom.
Rags is here. Okay, let's go ahead. And Molly, can you make him big or do I have to do it? I think I have to be the host in order to control the video. So you can make him big on your screen. Can we hear and see on your screen or no?
Yeah, wait, I don't know why I don't see him in.
I see him right here.
Oh, that's him. Okay, got it. Pin.
Chris,
hold on.
I'm there, but I'm not able to.
Not in video?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
so
almost 12. I'm
that's fine.
Inside the room.
Okay, go ahead. Ask your question, Rags.
Yeah. The question is like, how do we handle people who have not yet embraced the learning what we get through Future, and we find it difficult to make them buy in throughout the project at various stages.
Okay, say that one more time.
Okay. How do we handle people who have not yet embraced what we are learning through Future, like how we are talking about the business side of design? So I find it difficult sometimes to make them buy in to our thought process during the project at various stages.
Okay, that's perfect. I have some follow-up questions for you before I answer this. All right, just so that you guys are clear here, when he says people, you mean clients or employees?
Both the team members as well as the clients.
Well, let's focus on one because they're very different answers that I'm about to give you.
I would like to take from team members.
Team members. Okay, people who work for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to enroll them in a way of working that you're now comfortable with and they're not ready to buy into your system, right? Into your thought process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your thought process? Is it facilitation? Is it strategy? What is it?
Primarily, the first thing right now is price versus value. The work which is happening is heavily price driven.
Mm-hmm.
And okay. I'm trying to say that we should go value driven, value based pricing.
Okay. So are you talking about salespeople who work for you, producers, project managers who are doing the bidding and they're bidding the projects too low?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, this is with the account managers who act as partners with me, who get work and probably co-managers with me the project.
Okay. Are they partners of yours or they work for you?
Partners.
Partners are a little bit more difficult to work with. You may need to bring in a consultant to talk it over with you because no matter what you say, it's going to seem very biased and opinionated. Now, I don't know too many people personally that would be my partners that wouldn't want to make more money. And selling hourly is short-sighted. We know that. We've talked about this many times before. And if they don't want to price it that way, they're uncomfortable. So what we have to do is empathize with them a little bit and try to understand why are they so attached to hourly-based pricing? And why are they opposed to project or value-based pricing? What would they say if they were on the call with us right now?
I don't know. I mean, uh, how to put it. For example, this is from the Ben video, the fear of asking. Like
Mhm.
he did some 50 variations for the logo without asking it.
Right?
I'm facing a very similar situation right now.
Right. There's a couple of things here. I think overall, the generic solution to all this is empathy. I think the problem here is that we are not empathizing with their concerns and their fears as to why they want to price it hourly. And they're also
Yeah.
not empathizing with the creatives who actually have to do the work. Here's the problem with account managers. And if it's an account manager like anyone that I've ever known before, they generally just want to make the clients happy and they're not really
Yeah.
that connected to the work itself. So there's a general lack of empathy throughout the office. So what I would like for you to do is to say, you account manager, we're doing it your way. That's fine. So when you agreed to do 50 versions, I want you to sit next to the artist that's working on this through the weekend, version after
Yeah.
version. And when they're unhappy, I want you to see it first. This is what you're doing to the team. So there's a consequence to you fulfilling the client's requests at all costs, and the cost is our own people. So first and foremost,
Yeah.
I think as leaders, not managers, leaders, we have to set an example and we have to be good servant leaders. This is from Simon Sinek's book,
Yeah.
Start With Why. And he talks about being a good servant leader. That means you live to serve your people. You have to take care of your team and your culture. Otherwise, they will not take care of you. So that would be my answer to you.
Great, thanks, Chris.
You're welcome,
I
Rags.
probably have a call.
What time is it there right now?
It's almost 10 a.m.
Oh, 10 a.m.
Midnight.
Okay. Oh, midnight. Okay. All right.
I mean, yep.
Okay. Thanks very much, man. Good talking to you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Bye.
All right. Bye. Somebody's trying to call me right now. I'm not going to take that call.
Hey, Chris, I got a pretty interesting question here. Someone says they have $200 to spend on the future. What's the most important thing? Should they become a sustaining member or buy a product? Could you explain your answer from a business perspective?
Yeah. What's that person's name? I want to address them specifically.
Rachel Fabish.
Oh, Rachel. She's one of the people that she's a teacher.
She's one of the good ones.
They're all good ones. If they're watching our show, they're good ones. I mean, there are a couple of trolls, but okay, Rachel, you have $200. What do you need to do? I can give you a generic answer here, Rachel. So you keep talking to Aaron. Maybe you can jump on the Zoom call and I'll talk to you right now. You can do that because I want to know what your challenges are. I don't want you to buy something that's not a good fit for you, okay? Now, obviously, we would love for you to support our channel. Why are people calling me right now, Molly? I think they're like tuning in late on the stream and they think now's the time to call me.
Well, they can call on Zoom.
Okay, yeah, stop calling on the phone number, you guys. I'm not going to answer.
By the way, I was just kidding about that comment about the good ones. This is a joke. You know, so
Yeah.
don't take me seriously. Nothing
Never
I
take
say,
Aaron seriously.
everything I
No
say
one-
is a joke. So
Okay, obviously, we would love for you to become a sustaining member. That keeps the channel going, but it doesn't help you specifically. And soon it will help you, but not right now. I need to slide lock this. I'm going to turn off. Oh, I got to turn on my phone. I'm so used to the thumbprint thing here. There we go. It's on airport mode, so that we're going to leave the phone alone. So, Rachel, here's a couple of things. I'm going to give you guys some general guidelines into our products. And in case you're confused, I get it. We need to do a better job of describing the products. If you're in a space where you're asked to write proposals or bids for lots of things and you're not closing them and you're not quite sure why, or perhaps you're not sure if you're charging enough or how to structure it, then I highly recommend getting the perfect proposal that Ben Burns has written. It's a scaled down version of selling strategy, which is the monster version of that, right? So the perfect proposal, I think, is $59, and the selling strategy is $500. So it's a 10 times more expensive product. And what are the key differences? They share lots of similar DNA. You'll get a sample proposal deck from us. You'll get a little guide as to what you're doing or how to do it. And you'll get a template that you can actually use. Now, Ben has gone through and converted it from Keynote to PowerPoint. So those of you guys that are PC users or just don't like Keynote, that's totally cool. I won't judge you. Maybe a little bit. But you guys can then use those things, and it'll save you a lot of time. So if your time is spent all day working on something, it is more effective for you to buy something that's ready to go and modify it to match your brands and your messaging for $59. That's a good place to go. Now, if you're in the motion graphics space and you're doing a lot of pitches, and when I say pitch, a pitch is very different than a proposal. A pitch is when you have to assemble creative work, and generally speaking, you're doing it for little or no money. And if you're in the commercial space, you're putting together a director's treatment, what does a great pitch look like? Well, enter Matthew's The Pitch Kit. Matthew's Pitch Kit is $249. It's really specific for motion people. Of course, you can use it for other kinds of things, and it's really in depth. He shares, I think, 10 pitches that we've used to win work, and you guys can look at that. And usually, if you look at a couple, you kind of get a feel for it. So if you've never worked at a big agency before, or you're not privy to how other companies put together pitch decks, that's a good resource for you. And that could save you from losing one of those big pitches. Something that you might want to think about.
I have found a good question
ahead.
on YouTube. Someone asked, can I ask how you inspire your team to strive for the best possible result in a project rather than doing the minimum? I'm having some ambition issues on a side project right now.
Well, I want to ask you guys this question. How do I motivate you guys to do your best and not give me the minimum? And then I'll give you my answer.
That's a good question.
So Aaron, Molly,
Yeah.
Erica, anybody wants to answer it, you guys can. You don't have to. You're under no obligation to answer, but I'd like for you to try.
I feel like you do so much for us. Like, sit down with me and talk to me about how I can work on my vocab, and we go out to lunch often too, and just spending a lot of time with you and you wanting to work on me to become a better person makes me want to strive to be the best worker at work for you. Like, I don't want to disappoint you in my working.
Well, thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Aaron, what about you?
I feel like, I mean, I haven't had a lot of jobs, but when I work here, I feel like I'm the
When you say not a lot of jobs, you mean like no jobs, right? Let's just
No
be clear.
jobs, yeah.
Aaron's never worked before.
Yeah, so this is my first job.
This is his first job. Go on.
I forgot what I was gonna say. That's what happens when you interrupt people, man. I don't forget.
Oh, I'll give you a little taste of the treatment there. No, get back to you.
No, yeah, let's hear this.
All right.
Well, I have to think.
Okay, go ahead,
I was
think.
on a roll there.
You just said the first.
Exactly.
I love hanging out with these people, by the way, in here. It's just so great. You guys out there. So lucky.
You.
Like strong hands
Only
massaging me. So what I was going to say, if I can be allowed to continue speaking for a second, is that I feel like when I work here, Chris isn't just worried about me doing the work that he wants done, but there's room for me in the work that he has me do where I can grow and learn things and kind of develop my own skills and my own things I want to do. So, you know, we both get something out of it, not just him, you know?
Yeah, he encourages you to explore new things and develop new skills and add those to everything that you do. So I've been editing, but I'm an animator, and I can editing is actually part of animation because you need to know where to cut things. So it's really a great atmosphere for learning.
Oh, something else I've noticed, Erica, when you first started working here, I think you felt the same thing I felt a little, where it's like they give you a spot and a computer, but then no one really comes to tell you exactly what to do all the time. So it's kind of up to you here to figure out how to make yourself useful.
You need to be active.
You need to be proactive and find a way to make yourself useful.
Mm-hmm.
So by not giving you a lot to do here, you kind of, it like guilts you into like, I need to find some way to be useful because I'm just sitting here. And then that's kind of, you find, you know,
It's not
something
really
to do.
guilty. It's more motivating.
I like Aaron's choice of words. He feels guilty for not doing enough. That's one way to look at it.
That is kind of accurate, but it's also motivating for you to go be proactive and see what you can do and then learn more.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm ready to give you guys the answer here.
Okay.
So here's the answer that I have. If you're trying to motivate your team, you have to think, are you a motivational person yourself? Are you phoning it in? Are you working hard? Are you setting the example? And are you treating them the way you'd like to be treated? If you start there, you're off to a really good place. Now, being a creative person, we're not sitting in a factory where you can put warm bodies on something and they can just pull a lever and punch out so many buttons. It doesn't really work like that. For a person to be creative, they need to feel safe. They need to feel like They have some control of their own destiny. So this is a fancy word. It's called autonomy. They need to be able to be self-directed. So first, let's talk about setting up the environment. Creative people need open space. They need artwork. They need goofy, weird things. They need trinkets and knickknacks and posters and plush toys and action figures to feel like, wow, I'm in a creative space. If you go into an office and it feels like a bank with drop-down ceilings that are really low, everybody sits in a cubicle and it's really corporate, it's kind of hard to ask them to be creative in that kind of space. Hence, that's why a lot of creative spaces have white walls, a lot of natural light, exposed floors, high ceilings. Just it doesn't feel like you're being contained in a box. That's the environment itself. But the environment beyond the physical environment is we want to create a culture and a place where it's safe to fail. It's safe to explore ideas, and people aren't watching you like every second, every minute, every hour of what you're doing. We want to strip away as much of that as possible to allow people to feel open to exploring new ideas. The trickiest part when you're trying to bring somebody into your company, whether they're freelance or staff, is you have to learn to interview well. You have to learn, what is this person about? So it's dangerous to just hire somebody based purely on a portfolio, because they can come in with lots of attitude and ego. They can come in very demanding and act like a prima donna. They can do all those kinds of things, and that'll destroy your culture faster than anything else. So it's important for you to sit down and talk to somebody and get to know who they are, what motivates them. If they're self-starters, you might ask them some questions about what kind of hobbies and interests they have on the side. Ask them about something that they did on their own just for themselves for the pleasure of doing it, and get a sense of who they are. And then invite them in. We like people. We like open-minded people. We like people who embrace and drive change. Those are part of our core values. They like a little weirdness. So some days we might ask everybody to come in their pajamas, and if somebody's not comfortable with that, that's a good sign for us that they're a little bit square. They're squarer than we like to be. So we'll do funny things like that, have weird dress-up days. And we like that kind of culture, and I think that's healthy for a creative space. And that's all I got to say about that. Now, you would think from a corporate place that money motivates people, and money does motivate people to a degree, and it does so for some time. But I think if you create a place where people feel like they're having fun and they enjoy coming to work, they look forward to it, they're not dreading Mondays, that is way more powerful than money. And those of you guys, sadly, who are in a 9-to-5 situation, who sit there and think, I'm living for the weekends, it's Friday, yo, that's telling you that they don't really enjoy being at work. I love it here. I mean, I've had interns who've worked here who have asked me, can I come in on the weekend? I said, sure. What are you going to do? As long as you don't throw parties here. And that one intern said, because it's cooler being at your office than it is at my apartment. There's so many books to read, there are videos to watch, and the internet connection is amazing. There are computers and creative tools to use here, drawing materials, construction materials. I'd rather be here. And that's the kind of environment I want to create. Let's go to Zoom. Is somebody else ready with Zoom? Or is Zoom a total disaster? Anybody in Zoom have a question?
Is raising his hand.
Who is?
Leonard.
Okay, and then somebody else wants to ask a question here. I saw her raise her hand. Okay, where's Leonard? Where is he? I don't see
He's
anybody
right here.
named
Unmute.
Oh, yeah, you are. Okay, hold on. Before you do that, hold on. Don't do anything. I need to pin your video. There you go. And I'm gonna put us to the side here, and then we can cut to your screen. Perfect. Okay, go ahead. First of all, tell me your name and where you're from, and just go right to the question. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, Chris. I'm Leonard from Dubai. So I'm originally from India, but I've been in Dubai about 20 years. I've had my agency for about 10 years now, and we are a branding and design agency. We want to know if there is some sort of way that you could tell us how to transition from being predominantly a print agency, print and regular design, to doing a lot more digital and social, which we do a bit of, but we want to be able to transition effectively to doing more digital and social. If there is some path to do that, and maybe books that we could read or process that we could follow.
Okay. How long have you guys been doing print?
10 years.
10 years. How much digital experience do you guys have?
I'd say digital forms about between 15 and 20% of everything we do right now.
Okay, and would you guys consider yourselves experts at doing digital?
I think in terms of design for digital, we are pretty good.
Okay.
But in terms of actually optimizing it and getting that kind of impact and getting the right kind of social content out. We're still learning. I think we're a lot better than a lot of people in the market, but I think we still have a long way to go to being the best.
Okay, this is perfect. Okay, this is a multi-part answer here. Okay, thanks for asking that question. I'm gonna put. Can you put yourself on mute unless you have a follow-up, just to minimize any background noise? And if I do,
Sure.
okay, perfect.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Thanks,
Sure.
Leonard. So Leonard's calling from Dubai. His question is, we have 10 years of experience doing print. I want to make the transition to doing more digital, and especially social, kind of like what everybody's doing right now. And we know that whenever there's new emerging technology, and we're not saying that social is new and emerging, but it's new relatively speaking compared to print, that there are opportunities to do new things, offer more services, and potentially create higher revenue for your company. And there's a pretty big divide. There's a very big divide between print and digital. And I didn't know that, so I'm going to share a little story. Some of you guys have heard this before, but the first time that I tried to do web, I did a website for $5,000, and I was reskinning it. I was moving graphics around, and I wasn't aware of the user experience at all. This was doing a digital makeover, like putting new clothes on a person, and not really addressing the fundamental needs of that person. The other thing I didn't do was I didn't know at that point in time really how traditional print design doesn't work for digital. First of all, the type sizes, things would have to be much bigger. The scaling issue of responsive design for the desktop, the tablet, and to the mobile experience, they're very different. And so we were redesigning it multiple times. We were using like tricky diagonals and putting type in very specific areas that became a nightmare for our developers to deal with. We wound up basically building 3 sites, which burned all the money that we had for this job. And it created a horrible experience for us and our clients. And it was very, I would say traumatizing, but it created a certain idea in my mind that I wanted to give up. Okay, I wanted to give up, Leonard. And I was like, what do we do? So here's where you're going to get a lot of value if you're able to get coached by somebody who's been doing digital for a long time, who understands that you build user profiles or user personas, who's going to be using this. So what we don't understand is in the world of print, when we're doing letterhead or stationery, we don't really take into consideration that person necessarily. You would if you're an industrial designer and you get into human factors, ergonomics, and the discipline of designing for digital, for web, is very similar to designing a product, a physical product in the real world. How old is this person? Are they male? Are they female? Are they nearsighted? What are their physical limitations? How are they going to use this product or tool? The company OXO, the Good Grips company, they really spend a lot of time designing great products that are very ergonomic, that kind of question long accepted beliefs about how something should be designed. And that's great. So you want to build those user personas and profiles, and you want to study how they use things. What do they need to get from this site? So UX is really about giving somebody what they want in the fewest number of steps to make it really simple. Okay? And there's a funny meme that's going out on the internet. It's a little old, but what they do is they show you a drinking fountain and a sidewalk, and then somebody cutting a straight path to the drinking fountain. That's UX. That's user experience design. Is that give them what they want in the least number of steps. Nobody's going to walk around the corner, come back around, and come towards the fountain. It doesn't really work like that. The next thing that you need to do is, once you know what each user wants, is how do you design an experience for them so that it's intuitive, easy to use, and frustration free. And now we get into a lot of functional aspects. So the design becomes a little bit secondary to the function. Is there a sales component? And then now we have to think about the client themselves. So we're going to design a great experience for the user, but the clients themselves want them to do something. Is it buy a ticket, book a hotel room, sign up for an email campaign or something like that? Is it to follow you on Facebook? What do they want you to do? So the merger between what the user wants and what the company wants is how you have to design it. So we imagine 2 circles, some kind of like Venn diagram between what the users want and what the company wants. And then we solve those problems, and then we, of course, make it look good. Then we get into a lot of user interface best practices in terms of controlling your color palette. You would designate certain colors as colors specific for action. Click on this button, touch this menu, and you would designate those colors, and you would reserve those colors. There's a lot of issues about designing for the mobile. Like, we know that we hold in the left hand, most of us left-handed, or hold a cell phone if we're right-handed, the radius of the thumb. So these buttons here, in the arc of my thumb here, as I'm trying to demonstrate, those are where you want to put buttons on your screen. Not up here, not right down here because it's really awkward. It's really awkward to touch that part, right? So you got to think about the user experience there. Those are very important things to consider. Now, the best way I know how to do this is to actually hire a consultant, have them teach you. Now, they're a little harder to find. You can learn from watching our channel because we've produced several videos on how to do user experience design, what is UX, etc., and translating design to web. And there's several videos. If you guys look at one of our playlists, I think it's called UX, and then you can watch that. It's taught by my former partner, Jose Caballer, and you guys can check that out. There are a couple of books that you can buy too. One of them is called Value Proposition Design by Strategizer. And the cool thing about that is you can download their PDF for free. You will have to give them your email address, but if you do that, you can read the entire book for free. Okay? And then there's a bunch of books called Design Thinking. A lot of them are written by IDEO, and you guys can check those out as well. So that's the transition to digital. And when we're saying digital, I'm talking about web. Now, there's a social aspect, and the social is like the wild, wild west. It's all over the place. And what you want to do is start to experiment with your own brand and be able to grow an audience, to drive engagement and learn from that. Now, you can go to conferences. They have conferences for SEO and for social media marketing and social media management, and I would recommend that that's a good place to go as well. There's one called Search Love. It's a British company. They run one in San Diego, one in New York or Boston, and one in the UK. So find the one that's closest to you. Search Love is really good. They bring some industry titans, heavyweights who have massive, massive followings, and they share their best practices and strategies on how to target people, creating content. There's a great book that's written by Austin Kleon. It's called Show Your Work. Very inexpensive book, super easy to read. Read it, show your work. After this, we'll include links. If you guys use our affiliate links for Amazon, we'd appreciate it. And then you guys can check that out. But he's just talking about how to do social media. All you need to do is to be a good documentarian of your own work and your own process, to share bite-sized pieces. Now, this is dreadful for a lot of creative types because we only want to show the finished product, something that looks beautiful and it's grand and we know it's perfect. But what we're doing is we're robbing people of the process of learning with us while we're working. And that is critical. So instead of just showing the finished logo, we probably want to show a little bit of the research phase. We might show some failed attempts at drawing the mark itself. We might show the vector drawing when you can see how the paths are created. And then we show the finished logo, and then we might mock it up and show it in its kind of like identity package. That might be really helpful. There are some courses that we sell, and you can look at them. We sell a course on social media marketing. I think it's like $59.
I'll drop the link.
Yeah, I think it's $59. You can look at that, and that might help you. But there are free videos that we've produced too you can watch. Okay? My rule of thumb is this. Create value in the content so that somebody feels like they would pay you for it, except for it's free. That's my guide to social media. It's not about touting all the best, most creative things that you do all the time. That's not really creating value for them. Teach them, inform them, inspire them. That's the way to go. Ooh, we got the side screen cut. I love this cut. Thank you very much. Okay, does that answer your question? Leonard? Perfect. Okay, Leonard from Dubai, thank you very much.
Okay.
I would like to talk to, there's a woman who raised her hand. I don't know her name.
Yeah.
I think her name is,
In
what is
here.
her name? I can't see it.
Fergus.
Yeah. Okay, so did she have a good question?
She.
Let's go to Facebook or
Okay.
YouTube. Aaron, you ready?
Yep.
What you got
There's
for
a
me?
couple in here. I mean, there's nothing really that good.
I mean, like you're reading it for the first time?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Come on, man.
all right, this is the best one.
All right.
I think. What happens when a company is no more engaged or going in the same direction as before?
What happens?
Let's say they don't want you to go explore. Instead, they search to produce more faster.
More faster.
There's also a question on Facebook.
Okay, I'm trying to understand that question though. Explain it to me, Aaron. I'm like managing 4 things right now, so explain it to me. What's the question?
I feel like what he's asking is, I mean, in the design process, maybe the client had an idea and you started designing based on that idea, and now they're starting to change it kind of, and they're like, just get it done, just get it done. I don't care.
Okay. I understand. I understand now. This is a very common pain point, you guys, that somehow, somewhere along the way, you've lost your way. The client's trust and confidence in you has eroded, and now they just want you to get it done. Like, why? And they don't trust the process. They don't respect the work. They think of you as a commodity. That's kind of what it is, right? It's like all designs are the same. Just give me something. I need more. Give me this.
Yeah.
Turn that. No, I don't like that. Flip that over. Start over. And we have a video already on this about the creative process. You know which one I'm talking about, Aaron? Can you pull that one
I'm
up
gonna
with the one
pull
with the
it up.
diagram? When I spent all this time talking to you guys about how you run your projects, where you don't spend enough time diagnosing the problem, that you don't have a clear understanding of what the clients want, what problem you're trying to solve, yet you're still working. And then you get into that unfortunate, never-ending, infinite cycle of revisions, your own self-worth, your value, how much you're getting paid per hour, that just goes out the door. And so at some point, you start bleeding on the project and you're upside down. It's not that long ago that we created this video, Aaron.
That was last or 2 Fridays ago.
It's like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
What
when
is
I
it
was
called?
in here, your process or something.
I typed in creative process and I found one that's document and show your
that's
creative
No, no.
okay.
process.
I'll pull it up. I got it.
Yeah, thank you. All you have to do is look at our videos, look at it chronologically, and just scroll backwards from there.
I got it.
And we'll share that, okay? So that'll be the answer. Go watch that video, guys. If you fundamentally want to change your relationship with your client, you have to change yourself. You have to create a new process. And if you keep getting the same results, it's telling you it's not working. It is not working.
I have a question from Facebook.
Okay, but before we do that, why don't you guys do this? You guys organize your questions a little bit, so when I turn to you, we're ready to go.
Okay.
Okay, and then you guys can supply the people. I'm gonna let I don't know how to say your name. Fergus. Fair. All right, you're gonna have to help me. So unmute yourself. Go ahead, unmute yourself.
Hi.
Hello. Now let me see if I can pin you here. Let me go
My name
speaker.
is Fer.
Hold on. I can't pin you here for some reason.
You don't hear me?
No, I can hear you. Hold on. I want to make you big on the screen. Give me 1 second. Okay. Molly, I'm gonna have to take over again.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna
I'll make you the
reclaim.
host.
No, I can claim it.
Okay.
No, you don't have to do that. Okay. Now I can pin your video. Where is it? Why can't I pin her?
Spotlight video. Click on that.
There it is. They changed the term.
Hi.
Okay. So hold on. Let me clear that. Okay, it's gone. Okay. What is your name? Where are you from? And what's your question?
Okay, my name is Fer. I'm from Mexico City. And, well, I own a small branding studio. Okay?
Hold on. Your video, your YouTube video's on in the background. I can hear it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you gotta turn it off. Okay.
Okay, now?
We're good.
Okay. So I was saying my name is Fer. I'm in Mexico City. Okay, and I own a small branding studio. Now, my question is that I always work with transactional projects, but now there's a client that is asking for a monthly rate for us to be their support as a creative team. So now I don't know how to handle that. I don't know how to charge. What should I include in that rate? How do I calculate that rate? So,
Okay, I don't fully understand the question. You have a client, they want you to start charging differently than the way you're normally charging.
No, I think I can jump
Yeah.
in here. I
Okay,
think
Aaron's gonna jump in.
I
Go
think you
ahead.
asked the question in the
What is it?
chat, right? It's about
Go ahead and ask it, Aaron.
like someone wants her to start running their design team and help their design team out,
No.
coaching or whatever.
Okay.
Is that not it?
No.
What is it then,
Okay.
Molly?
Hold on, there's a little confusion on the other side there.
No, she said.
What did she say? Hold on. Molly?
I know. I'm reading it. She's asking.
I send you the question to
Okay.
the chat.
All right, I'll have to find it.
I've worked with transactional projects, but now a client is requiring a monthly rate to be their support as a creative team.
Okay. Well,
To
that's the same
apply
question
the
that she's
different
asking.
brand strategies. How do I handle that?
Okay. Your client, when you say you're used to working on transactional projects, what the heck does that mean?
Well,
Like project
let's
fees?
suppose I send them a proposal for a rebranding project,
Okay.
and it's a fixed rate with
Okay.
a deadline and everything.
Yep.
But not,
Go on.
yeah. But now this client is the first time we are working with them, and they don't want a fixed rate per project. They just want a monthly rate to work with different projects at the same time, and to work with different strategies for their brands.
Okay, I think I understand. I think I understand. Let me recap here. So can you hit mute because there's a lot of background noise on you, and then when you need to say something, unmute. Okay.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, hit mute. You got it? Okay, beautiful. So Fur is asking this question. She's from Mexico, and she's talking about branding, and she's like she's used to billing out projects for a flat fee, a fixed bid, and then the client's like, well, we want to do monthly rates. Okay, this is a tricky thing.
Someone's saying like a monthly retainer.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
monthly retainer is
that's what it is.
what your clients want to do. So I'm not a big fan of the monthly retainer, and Mr. Aaron Pearson loves monthly retainers.
Really?
Yeah, he does. He just likes monthly retainers. So let's talk about this. And we were talking about it in-house here. So here's how I look at it. Monthly retainers are good if you can get them to sign up for a period of time. Let's do some simple math. Let's say for a rebranding project, it's $30,000. Okay? If the client wants to pay you, say, a $10,000 monthly retainer, I would say, I need you to sign a contract for a guaranteed minimum of 3 months. So at least I make my $30,000 because all the thinking work, all the hard work is done up front. So if they pay you $10,000 for $30,000 worth of work and then they don't renew the next month, you're kind of screwed. The reason why I don't love monthly retainers is because then it reduces your work into an hourly rate. And I don't like to work that way. I don't want to keep track of my hours. I don't want to be punished for my efficiency, so it doesn't really make sense. And it makes it harder on us because now we have to add an additional level of administrative work that we just don't want to do. But it can work if you structure it carefully. And you can make more money in the long run if it's done correctly. I would say I would try to team up with an attorney to help you draft up some agreements that make it fair for you, but also to protect you. So I would include a minimum retainer time duration, so at least 3 to 6 months, because you're going to set up a whole system, and if they disappear in 2 months, it's a lot of setup, and you spent all that money just creating that, and now for what? Totally gone. The other way that we can do this is if we have some scope, we can describe the scope at least, and then we can talk about, well, we'll get all this work done in 3 months, including revisions, and that's how we would do it. A couple of strategies here. The way that I love to work with retainers is after you deliver, say, a website, there needs to be maintenance on the website. Things have to be updated. Things get broken. Images and other kinds of things needed to be dropped in. And sometimes the company just doesn't really want to deal with it. Even if you use a content management system, they don't want to deal with that. And that's understandable. So what I would do is set up a quarterly retainer. So every 3 months, they're paying for service to maintain the site. And now that the heavy work has been done, we're not talking about redesigning the site. We're talking about maintenance, upgrades, making sure that there are no kind of security patches, those kinds of things that hackers can exploit. Then I would set that up. And that seems to be reasonable. And you can set that up. I don't love monthly retainers, and that's the problem. And you're having the same problem as I'm having. Now, my friend Carrie Green says there's something that's going on right now that people are trying this where they charge a very high retainer rate. Let's just say it's $2,000 a week. For a lot of people, that's a lot of money. $2,000 a week, and whatever you need to get done, I will take care of in that week for $2,000 a week. So that means that's going to be approximately $8,000 a month, $96,000 a year. And if you can onboard a handful of clients that agree to pay $2,000 a week, that's great. You have predictable runway, you can manage your cash flow, and you can start to hire people to help you. And if you charge them way more than what you are going to do in that week anyways, it works out to your benefit. But usually the problem comes in where the client's expectations are really high and the amount of money they're willing to pay you per month is really low. That's where we're upside down. So in those cases, I think you have all the power to say, this doesn't work for me. I don't have an idea on the scope and the amount of money you're willing to pay for this work, and you're not willing to pay a long-term agreement. It's not going to work for me. Okay? And perhaps what they really want is just to pay in installments. That yes, it's still a fixed fee of $30,000, but you can pay it in 3 installments. And that's okay too. So I'll really try to get at the heart of it. Are they trying to save money? Are they trying to make it an exclusive agreement? Do they want to lock you down for your availability? Try to address those kinds of problems, and maybe you'll get to the heart of it. You want to say something, Fer?
No, well, all those things you mentioned
Yes.
is something that we already talk about, and you're right. So we are going to take your advice and see how it happens.
Okay, great. And I'll tell you what, we are in the middle of working on a retainer agreement with our clients too. So if we have success with it, then we will report back to you and update this story. Now, I've done a retainer before. It's not worked out for me in the past. That's why I don't like it. I like to get paid up front for the work, and I want to move on with my life.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, Leonard was talking about digital and social from his previous question. I think social and digital, it does make sense to go on a kind of monthly retainer because you want to manage a social campaign. So here's what I like to do. What I would do is front load the work, charge a flat fee for that, and then say for the next few months or whatever, for the next 6 months, we will do community management. We'll create 2 campaigns. We'll do 1 content marketing piece. We'll do all your SEO, and we will charge you this amount of money every single month. And that seems to make a lot of sense. When it's an ongoing, ever-changing, always evolving thing, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, Molly's giving me the hand, and that's the hand of, hey, I'm ready to talk.
Yes, I have a question
Go
from
ahead.
Facebook. Shirley. She says, hi, I'm watching from Israel. I love you guys. I would like to ask. She said, I run a branding and graphics design studio. I have 2 freelance designers as a team right now. The workflow is that I meet the client, make the brand brief, then I guide my team. They make sketches. They send it to me. I usually guide to make improvements, and finally we present to the client. In this workflow, I feel that I spent a lot of my time managing the project instead of time to get more and bigger clients.
Hold on. Get to the question. I'm dying in the details.
I know. She's asking, how do I make this workflow more efficient so she can gain and get more clients instead of managing her team, her 2 designers.
I still don't understand what we're talking about.
Well, I have a better question.
Oh, wait. No, you can't do that.
I
want to stay on Molly's question.
Okay.
Molly, after reading the whole question, ask me the question. Don't read literally what she wrote.
She's asking, how do I make my workflow more efficient so I can get new clients, new bigger clients, instead of just managing my 2 designers?
Okay, is this a client management issue or is this managing my designers issue? Or both?
I think it's both.
Why don't you reread it and tell me? I want to be able to answer the right question. Okay? And Aaron, get your question ready. I would like for you to read it, process it, try to understand what it is, and write that down so that when I come to you, because, you guys, all right, cut to me for a second here. Everybody that's on Zoom or typing in on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're watching this right now, you have to learn the art of asking a question. Tell me the problem later. Ask me the question first. How do I manage my team? Because I'm spending all my time managing my team right now, and I only have 2 designers. See how clean that question is? Then I can answer it. Then
That's
I
the
might have
question.
follow-up.
That's the question.
Is that the question?
Yes.
Okay. I suspect, Shirley, that you might be a micromanager. I'm not sure. I also suspect that your team might be really green, because to manage 2 people is not that difficult to do, right?
Yeah.
Now, there's something called the effective span of management, and you should be able to effectively manage 5 or more, or like around 5 or 6 people. Beyond that, you start to lose effectiveness, and you're not giving the team the attention that they need. And that's why government has this gigantic pyramid and there's so much bureaucracy. There's only so much you can manage. Okay. If you're only managing 2 designers and you're doing branding work, you have to ask yourself, how are you briefing your designers? Are you giving them verbal direction? And are you sitting there with them every hour, kind of course correcting the entire time? If you're doing that, then you will have no free time. What I would suggest that you do, there's that video that we're going to share with you.
I did.
What is it called?
It's
Thank you very much.
it's rethink the client dynamic.
Yeah, it's called Rethink the Client Dynamic. What you need to do is to be able to write a clear, creative brief with define parameters and a very clear goalpost for your team to hit. You need to be able to negotiate with your team in terms of how much time something is going to take. And then you leave them alone and only ask them, if you need my help, if you need direction, come find me. Otherwise, I really want you just to do this. Now, we use a combination of several different things. I love Trello. I make no money off Trello because Trello is free. Trello is a great project management software, and it's totally free. You can assign tasks, and then you can create little cards that your team members will move from column to column as the project is making, as they're making progress on their project. That's what they're doing. Okay? So typically in a column for Trello would start off things to do, things I'm doing, things to review, and things that are done. So you start off by creating tasks on the things to do. You would say need to do research, and you would break the project down. And then as your team members get assigned tasks, they would then take that card and like, okay, now I'm working on it. So you have full transparency. You can see what it is that they're doing. You don't have to wonder why, and that would help you. Here's another thing that I do. I will ask my team to write me an email at the end of every day. Here's what I got done. Here's what I'm going to work on tomorrow. And I can read those really fast and then course correct them. And then what I do is, depending on what time I get up or how late I go to sleep, I read those emails, I look at their work, I make notes for them, and I email them back. So in the morning, they have all the notes and they're ready to go. Now, sometimes it's hard to communicate in words via email to your team. So with a team of 2, you could just literally walk over and say, look, I wrote the notes. Let's sit down. We'll go over it so you already have that ready to go. Another thing that you can do that I recommended to Melinda, who I've been coaching, is to record a screen capture of you talking about the work. And you can mark it up in Photoshop or whatever. That way there's a visual to go along with the audio. And that helps out a lot. And this is a great tip for managing remote teams so things don't get lost in translation. And if you're doing motion work, I would use a program or software called frame.io. It allows you to scrub through a timeline, park it, and then mark it up. Erica, you've used frame.io, right?
Yes, actually through
the School of Motion. That's how they critique your work, and it's effective, correct?
Indeed it is.
All right. So you use frame.io, and that's how you can mark it up. There's lots of great technology that's out there, guys, to help you run your company and your creative teams. All right, Let's move on. Aaron, what's your question? And we're going to go back to Zoom right after that. Okay, I got you, Juan. Go ahead.
It was, how do you keep the client from overworking you when you're on a retainer?
Well, we're back to the retainer thing.
Well, that's why I wanted to ask you right away. It's a good follow-up.
That's good.
I don't know about now.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's why I don't love retainers, guys. We're always concerned we're going to be overworked, that the client's going to take advantage of us. The only way I know around that is to charge so much money for the retainer fee that you don't worry about that anymore. And what you can say is, for the first 3 months, the rate's going to be a little higher until we figure out what's going on. Or you can say the retainer is for you to buy in bulk 30 hours worth of work in advance. If you don't use them every month, then you lose them. They don't roll over like cell phone minutes, okay? Then if it goes over, we have a certain hourly rate. But this puts you back into an hourly rate kind of person. And like I said, I don't love that idea at all. Does that help you? So if they get into hour 35 and you've only allotted 30 hours, they owe you for 5 hours extra at a predetermined hourly rate. And what I would do is I would create a blended rate. I hope you guys know what that term means. If you don't, I'm going to tell you anyways. Within your company, you're going to have people at different rates. A junior designer, a senior designer, art director, creative director, owner, project manager, all that kind of stuff. What you do is you take everybody's rate and then you average together. So the junior designer might be $25 an hour. The owner principal might be $200 an hour. So then you blend those two rates, and whoever's working out, no matter what they do, it's going to be the hourly rate. That's a blended rate. Now let's move on to Zoom. I'm going to jump and talk to Juan, and I'm going to spotlight you. Juan, you ready? All right. Juan, how do you say your name and where are you from? And then hit me with your question.
Hi, man. My name is Juan. I'm from Nicaragua, Managua, Nicaragua, and I got 2 questions. So I'm the guy that got the offer about building an in-house department at this big company, and they asked me to charge them for building the department and then to make a salary offer. And then my other question is, how do I create workflows for something of such a scale, because it's way bigger than anything I've worked with previously.
Okay. I didn't get the first question. I heard a statement. I didn't get a question. Ask me your question on the first part. We'll only do one question at a time. Don't give me a compounded multiple part, multiple choice, choose your own adventure kind of question, okay? Hit me with your
All
most
right.
important question first. What is it?
How do I charge for building an in-house design department?
You're in charge of building an in-house design department and you don't actually work in-house? You're a consultant?
Yeah, I was a consultant and they really liked the way we worked, so
Mhm.
they offered me this.
Okay. So you have to do, what would the steps you would have to take to help figure out the answer to that?
Well, I gotta find out how many people I gotta hire and
Okay.
all the things that they're gonna use, computers, software, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I gotta take into account salaries. I don't know. It's a lot of things, and I don't know if I'm gonna miss something.
Okay. Well, let's not worry about what you're going to miss. Let's just worry about how to structure this, okay? What I would do is call it an assessment fee, where you're going to go in, you're going to interview people, you're going to talk about how many people they need, what the departments are like to work with. I don't know how big this company is. Let's assume it's a really big company. How many people do you need? What kind of key positions there are, the company culture, and then you're going to do a technical assessment about hardware and software, and you're going to develop processes based on what you discover. So this could be a discovery diagnostic phase, and I would charge a flat fee for that. And based on that, then you have to do the implementation and the actual interviewing process and the trainings of the team. So I would then break that into parts and pieces. So the first thing you need to do is create an outline of how you work. How does your mind work? What are you looking for? And write that down. And then try to figure out what is a reasonable amount of money to ask for that. Consultants typically get paid a lot of money, because your time, your ideas are a lot more valuable than the time in which you put into something. Okay? So let's just do a ballpark figure. How many people work at this company?
Well, the project that I work with it's a company that it's just starting up. They haven't even hired people, but the main company, they have like 12 projects at hand, so they have a lot of people.
How many is a
I
lot?
don't even know.
Guess. I can't tell, and the internet won't know. Just guess, dude.
150, 200.
Okay.
I don't
150
know.
people.
I don't know. That's a small number for you guys, maybe, but it's
No.
a very small country.
No, I'm not judging. Juan from Nicaragua. 150 people, and they need you to help build a design department. Is that a creative team?
They want a design department that creates all design work for the different smaller companies.
That's fine. It's a design department. Okay, I get it. And so how much would you charge them to do this? The diagnostic phase. How long would it take you? What kind of systems do you have to develop? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking about $5,000 considering
okay.
the.
I'm thinking 10 to 30 myself.
Yeah, well, Nicaraguan economy is different, but yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, but
I was taking into consideration the Nicaraguan economy. I wasn't giving the U.S. Chris Doe price. I was saying, to sit down to understand and assess everything, it should be north of $10,000 at minimum. Okay, and then you need to write reports. You have to talk to people. You have to understand what their needs are. You have to do a lot of research, and this is based on all of your life experiences, things that you've learned along the way. And that's very valuable, because if you think about it, when they have to hire one person, what are they going to pay one person? What's one person's salary?
Well, it depends on the job that person is.
What do you think it would be? Roughly.
For this role?
No. Well, you're going to hire a bunch of people for them, right? Because you're going to build a team. What is one person's salary that you're going to hire?
At least $500, $600.
No, salary, like annual salary. How many K per year?
Oh, that's like at least 10,000, 15,000.
Okay, and how many of those people do you need to hire?
At least 4.
Okay, so that's 60K, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I don't know if you know this, but a recruiter gets 10% of a person's salary just for bringing them in the door. Do you know that? Or 20%, actually. I'm sorry. The number is wrong because I paid this myself before. It's painful. When you hire a headhunter, that all they do is they bring in people for you to interview, and if you hire that person, you have to pay them 20% of their salary. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. Okay, this is just basic math here, okay? If you have to hire $60,000 worth of employees, 20% of that is what? $12,000. And that's just a recruiter. That's not assessment. That's not diagnostic. That's not recommending hardware, software. That's not individually interviewing them. They just give you resumes. And if you hire their people, you have to pay 20%. So you see, you're already grossly underselling yourself right now. See the math? That's why we do math. Okay?
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, it definitely makes sense.
So go make your money and then send me 10%. All right. I'm going to move on. Okay? Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks, man.
Okay. Let's go back to Facebook or YouTube.
Okay.
We're about 30 minutes out. You know what I want to do?
What?
I'm getting a little tired. I think we should give something away.
Okay.
I'm afraid to turn
I have
on.
a simple question.
I'm afraid to turn on my phone, guys. And somebody's like, "Oh, they're angry because I didn't set up voicemail." It's like, if you get to voicemail, it means you didn't get it.
Yeah.
You got the phone ring and I pick it up. The problem is when a bunch of people call at the same time.
No one gets through.
Well, no one person gets through, and then 10 people don't get through.
Oh.
It's the problem. Ask the internet if there are enough sustaining members online right now. Then I will do this thing again.
Yeah, I'll ask.
Ask them,
How
okay?
many are sustaining members in this chat?
Yeah, how many sustaining members are there? And then we will probably give away. Oh my God, they're already calling me again. Don't call me right now. I don't want to talk to you right now. I'm not ready for you. As soon as I turn on my phone, it was ringing already. I'm glad I have a burner phone because that was bananas. Oh, no, decline.
All right, so you want them to start calling?
No, I'm
Okay.
just asking if there's enough,
1,
then
2,
I'll do
3,
it.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
There's enough.
10.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
All right,
Okay,
let's
guys,
do it.
hold on. Don't call me yet, you guys. Don't call me right now. This is a live show, guys. Do not call me. I'm going to get my phone ready. Don't call. There's like 10 people on the phone, right? I'll do caller number 7, lucky number 7. I'm going to give you guys, what did I say, 15 minutes of my time? I lost my notes here. Yeah, I'm going to give you a 15-minute consulting block with me.
Damn.
Oh, they're already calling. Okay, that's number 1. Okay, give them the phone number. Molly?
Okay, I'm giving the number.
What are you guys doing? Are you guys eating?
Aaron is.
And you're distracted by him eating.
Well, I'm trying to say turn off the mic.
Come on, guys.
All right.
People are all wondering like why I'm upset at you guys all the time. This is why. Here's the number. Read it to him, Molly.
424-537-3377.
Okay, I already had
Call
caller number
now.
2. You have to be a sustaining member or you have to have donated via our website, okay? Those are the rules. If you donate it, because we have to check it. That's caller number 3 right there. We got 4 more.
Okay.
Here we go. We're getting close.
This is a good one that you're giving away.
It is. How much is my time worth? If you guys don't know, I charge $500 an hour to consult. Okay?
And you're
I charge
getting
clients more
15
than
minutes.
that. And you get 15 minutes of that, so you guys do the math. It's 1/4 of that. That's caller number 4. I thought there are 10 people in the room. I just need 7 people to call.
Come on.
Come on, we're almost there, guys.
Come on, people. 424.
Okay, that's caller number 5.
3377.
All right, get rid of that phone number. Here we go. We're getting close.
All right.
2 more callers. Okay, check this out. Here we go. Hello. Hey, you're caller number 6. Sorry. Sorry, bro. Sorry.
Oh, God.
He said, oh, no. All right, here comes the next one. Next caller gets it. Hold on. Ah! I can't even hang up on this phone. This is a bad phone. iPhone 4. I should have just gotten a clamp. Here we go. From Phoenix, Arizona. Hello? Hey, you are caller number 7. Hold on a second. I'm going to put you on speaker. Everybody else.
Is he a sustaining member?
Are you a sustaining member? What is your name? Say that one more time. My phone's like blowing up in my ear right now. I can't even hear you. Andy Mahia from Phoenix, Arizona. All right. Congratulations. Molly and I will follow up with you. You've won the consulting block, and I will follow up with you, okay?
That's
all
amazing.
right, man. Congratulations, brother. Take care. Bye-bye.
Awesome.
All right, Andy Mahia. He gets the time. Okay, we're done. I got to now turn this phone off without accidentally. Decline, end. Maybe I need you guys to run the phone because it's
Victor
banana.
said he was caller number 6. He wanted to meet you when you come to Boston.
Okay, hey, whoever wants to meet up with me in Boston, if I have time, I'll meet up with you, okay? We will do it. I have a little time.
Okay.
because I'm going to be there Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, part of Tuesday before I head back to LA. Okay, Andy Mejia, he gets the 15-minute consulting time. Okay, let's go
Congrats,
to.
Andy.
Good job, good job.
All right, all right.
I don't have my applause thing anymore. Ah. Okay, we'll get that up for the next one. Okay, Molly, who's up next? What do we got?
Let's see. I have a question from Facebook, Brandon. Or no, this is from YouTube. But he wants to know, what's your least favorite part of running a creative business? What steps do you take to
One question.
Well, hold on. What steps do you take to power through those less desirable experiences?
Right, that's a two-parter. Is it not two questions?
It is two questions, but I feel
Well,
like...
ask me one question at a time and then do a follow-up.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
What's your least favorite part about running a creative business? Chris.
I'm thinking. What do you think it is? What's the worst part of running a creative business? My answer's starting to come up. I'm starting to think of something here. Aaron, what do you think it is?
Dealing with the clients.
Dealing with clients?
No, I think you like that. Chris, the money talk. But you also probably like that.
What's the worst part? Okay. Now, I'm going to give you the answer that made a lot of sense to me the first couple of years. Not today, because the answer is very different today. And I assume a lot of you guys are watching this. You're going to probably relate to that answer more than the one that I'm going to give you today. Okay, so in the very beginning, I really do enjoy making things. I really do. I like crafting things. I want to work with creative people, and it was all about the work. What I didn't want to do was the thing that I needed to do the most, to learn about business, to learn about management, sales, marketing, negotiations, bidding the job, all the things you don't learn in school. And as a result, as a consequence of that, our business suffered. We lost money on jobs. We underbid jobs. We didn't know how to conduct ourselves on conference calls. And it was really, really tough. So those first couple of years were tough. And probably the biggest challenge for me was to overcome my nature of being an introvert, to come out of my shell, to be able to meet and talk to people, to even look at them eye to eye and just have a real conversation with them. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing what we're doing here today as part of the mission of the future, which is to empower creative people through learning creative strategies and the business of design. And that's what we're trying to do. And those of you guys that are super creative, I see you out there. And I think if you just added 20% more of the business language, that business dialogue, you would yield probably 3-4 times as much money as you're making today. Now, what you do with that money is up to you, because it's not always about the pursuit of money. We said before that creative people aren't driven, aren't motivated by making more money. But money does give you some things. It gives you freedom. It gives you freedom to say no to clients that are being jerks. It gives you the freedom to say no to clients that you don't believe in, and people that you don't like, and products that you don't trust. You have that kind of freedom. And that's why you want the money. But the other reason why you might want that money is because you want to take care of your people. You might want to buy better equipment for people or update software or machines. We know how frustrating it is to work on a computer that's 4 years old, 7 years old, or even worse. We know what it's also to get into a financial situation where an unforeseen circumstance, a tree falls across your car, and now what are you going to do? This is what the money allows you to do. So what you do with your money is up to you. And if we as creatives within this larger community can get comfortable talking about business, about marketing, sales, and about money, we're going to do a lot better for ourselves and for the community that we serve. That's all I got to say about that. What's your follow-up question now?
No follow-up.
For real?
It was you've answered it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone asked how you learn to be more extroverted.
I don't know if you can learn to be more extroverted. What you can do is you can learn tools on how to work around your introversion. And here are some tips that I can share with you guys. But I do want to say this because I just filled out a bunch of speaking topics for NAB for 2018. That's in Las Vegas, you guys. One of them was how to be more social as an introvert. Taught by an introvert, me. Okay, here's what we're going to do. If we can learn to have small talk, conversations with strangers, it'll help to prepare you to talk to clients. And it's tough. it's tough to have small talk with people. So what I recommend you guys do is to have conversations with people in your life that you bump into. It could be a guy at a street corner. It could be a person in an elevator, wherever you're at. Not to be creepy about it, with no hidden agenda, but just to talk to them. How's your day going? I really love your hat. That's a really cool tie. Where did you get that? I love your shoes. Just to begin a conversation. Are you lost? Do you need help? To just be of service to other people, and that'll start to help you get out of your shell. Well, in order to be in the situations, you have to get out. You have to leave the studio and go meet people. And I found 12,000 people that were just like me at Adobe Max, which was really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
12,000 people that didn't want to make eye contact. 12,000 people that looked down. 12,000 people that had really awkward handshakes. 12,000 people who had really awkward opening lines. And I made a commitment to myself that when I went to eat lunch, first of all, I went to Adobe Max by myself. It just turned out that Emily couldn't go. And lunch, or sitting and finding a table to sit at, would have normally paralyzed me. I'm like, oh, I don't know anybody here. This is super weird and awkward. I don't know what to do. And I made it a game. I turned everything into a game. I was like, let me try to break through in a group and sit down and have a conversation with as many people at that table that are willing to talk to me. And I would do that, and I would ask them some questions. So think about some questions that you can ask people when you sit down next to them. So at Adobe Max, the questions could be something like, hey, what was your favorite session? What session are you really looking forward to? Where are you from? What do you do? Are you an in-house designer? And it turns out a lot of people were. And that would kind of get the dialogue going. And that's it. That's one thing, but I don't want to spend our whole show talking about the power of introverts and what you can do to overcome these things. That could be a whole show in itself, and
Yes.
we'll get to that. Okay? But if you start to embrace the things that you're most afraid of, if you start to try to do those things, you'll see tremendous growth in yourself. And isn't that the purpose of any artist, is to grow
Yes.
in all aspects?
Yes.
That's it. And Ma, you want to add anything to that?
No, I just have one last question.
Go ahead.
Okay.
What's your question?
Let me see. How do you manage if a freelancer I hired does not deliver and I'm the middleman who is the one who faces the client?
Okay. Oh, that's a really good question. My goodness, that's a good question. Okay. You've been bitten. Anybody here have that happen to them? Somebody you've hired and it not work out, and what do? You're kind of screwed.
You have to do the work.
Zoom people, nod your head. Have you ever hired somebody that's not delivered? No? Oh, you've been lucky. Nelson, you've been real lucky.
Yeah, Nelson's the only one.
Oh, okay. Maybe you've never hired a person. My goodness, I've
hired someone.
and they worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. She was
You
my
guys are
friend.
geniuses. I'm the fool. I'm the total fool here. That's okay. All right. I have hired several people where things haven't worked out, and I've paid a lot of money for that to happen. Here's some things that I can tell you. Okay, so here's the situation. Let's do the setup. You hire, say, a logo designer, and you have to present a bunch of comps to your client. And the first set of logos aren't really good, and you're like, oh, that's kind of not what they had on their portfolio. And sometimes people misrepresent. They worked in a team, they got creative direction, and they were just executing the drawing. And they say, well, they said, I came up with this logo. And then what do? You have a conversation with them. You try to direct them, like, this wasn't really what I was looking for. And now time is passing. You're starting to panic because you have to present all these logos to the client that don't look like anything just yet. You're kind of screwed. You really are. So here's where you're going to have to kind of eat the cost. You're going to have to hire another designer that you didn't budget for, and you're going to have to work on it with time you didn't budget for, and it kind of is a horrible situation. So how do you prevent this from happening? There's a couple things that you can do. One is you can do a better job of vetting your team. You can talk to them beforehand. You can dig into their projects. You can ask a lot of questions about their process. You can call up their referrals and ask, what's it like to work with this person? Did they do this? What was their contribution to the project? And if you do that, you might protect yourself from getting a bad apple. And sometimes it's just a bad fit. Like, there are good designers out there that have the wrong projects to work on, that you saw all this work and it was very consistent. Like, they do intricate, beautiful, floral hand lettering. And then you put them on a corporate job thinking, oh, they could totally do that. And it turns out they can't, because everything they do is in that style that they work in. And that was a mismatch on your part. I would not blame the artist or designer for that. So you have to do a good job of matchmaking, finding the right talent to the problem that you're trying to solve. The other thing that you can do, and this is probably the more important thing that you can do, is when you do the budget something that gives you room to correct potential mistakes or bad hires. So when we budget a project, if a designer is going to charge me $1,000 to do the work, I cannot charge the client $1,000 to do the work, because if anything goes wrong, I'm totally screwed. So how much should we charge the client, Molly, if we're getting billed $1,000 to do the work? What should we charge?
We're getting billed. You're paying someone $1,000 to do the work.
Yes. What should we bill the client for? What should we build the estimate for? What do you think?
2,000.
2,000. Good number. Anybody else have an opinion on this? No? Okay. So if you build 2,000 and everything goes well, how much money do you make?
1,000.
You make 1,000. What about your time in managing the project?
Well, that's included in that.
Okay, so what would you take out if you had to pay yourself or somebody else to do your work? What are you, a creative director, an art director, probably?
Yeah, then I guess you would charge 3,000.
No, hold on. Just don't get ahead of me.
Okay.
I just want to help you guys do some math.
Yeah, okay.
All right? How much, I want you guys to think about this. What Bill Gates does is he runs a company and all the work gets done and then he still gets paid. Everybody's doing a job. So if he doesn't even show up to work, everything's still cool.
Mm-hmm.
I want you guys to start thinking about that. If you had to hire somebody to do your job, what would you pay them? So the designer charged you $1,000. What would you pay an art director / creative director to do your job?
Well, I would assume that it's more than the designer.
It probably should be more than the designer, but
Yeah.
you're not actively working on it all the time. You're managing it. So some percentage of your time is spent managing that one project.
500,
Okay. Let's say it's $500.
even though that doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right. It feels super low to me,
Yeah.
but that's okay. We're working with relative numbers. I
Okay.
just want people to understand the concept. Okay. So how much money do you have left over?
500.
Okay. Now, what did you pay for your rent, your utilities, your machine, whatever other overhead? What did you pay for that?
Probably a lot more than that. 2,000.
Right. $2,000 is
Yeah.
what you paid. But maybe this doesn't take the whole time, so you prorate that too.
Okay.
So what I'm helping you guys to realize, I hope, is that you've grossly underbid the project already. At 2x, you're not going to cover jack.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of business is that after all expenses are paid, including whoever works on the project, including yourself, that you still have room for profit. Companies are run on a profit margin, and business people understand this. So if it costs you $2,000 to do this, and you got paid $2,000 to do this, how much profit do you have?
Mm-hmm.
How much profit do you have?
Oh.
That's a question.
None.
0. Big fat goose egg, 0. Okay?
Yeah.
0 is how much money you made in profit. So when I was younger, and I think many people speak in these terms, I made $30,000 is what they would say. I said, no, what did you get paid for the project? $30,000. So you didn't make $30,000 because that doesn't account for anything. You start subtracting every single bit.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say I made this amount of money, I'm talking about profit. After all expenses, overhead, salaries and wages, cost of goods sold, this is what I have left over.
Mm-hmm.
So we could be a $100 million company, and I would not say I made $100 million. If I ran it well, I might have made $20 million. I don't know. Or I could make $100,000. I don't know. So when people talk about how much money they made, they're often using the wrong term. They're just describing how much gross revenue they had or how much billables they had for that year. Okay, really
Okay.
good question.
Cool.
So I would say that 2x is not enough. It'd probably be 3 or 4x because if they screw up, if something goes wrong, you are totally hosed. Okay?
Yeah.
And soon I'm going to provide you guys, as part of a new kit, an Excel spreadsheet that's 4 or 5 pages long that you punch in the numbers that you want, that you have to pay your staff or freelance team. It'll do all the calculations for you, including your profit margin, your overhead, and all that kind of stuff. And that's the number you submit to the client. I think that'll be useful to some people. Yeah. An Excel spreadsheet. Okay. I have 12 minutes left. Since we're on a Zoom call, we have 14 participants still left here. You guys, Nelson or Rocky, do you guys have any questions about business, or are you just tuning in just to see me? You guys have a question? No? Okay. Yes?
Oh, they both do.
Oh, they both do? Okay. Well, Nelson's like, yeah, maybe. So Nelson, hold on. He got the beauty lighting, but he's not ready with a question. I'm gonna turn on Rocky. Rocky, let's do it. Rocky, let me pin your video. Go ahead, unmute yourself, Rocky. Cool mustache, dude. Okay, what's your name and where are you calling from? You lost your voice? What happened? I don't hear you. You have to unmute yourself. Hit that unmute
He
button.
said he's using a computer.
Nope, I don't hear anything, man. Hold on, Rocky. You got to test your mic, dude. Go to your preference settings. Okay? I'm going to go back to gallery view. We will take Nelson while Rocky works on his mic. Rocky, I still hear nothing from you. All right. Here we go. Nelson, who doesn't have a question. You can say hello, Nelson. Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm from Portugal. I do have a question. I'm just not sure if it's in the right theme.
This is fine. Go ahead, ask your question.
Yeah, as I said previously when we started the call on Zoom, I am starting myself now as a freelancer, as the more of I want to do this for a living now, right?
Yeah.
And my question was towards what should I focus more in order to start with the right foot? Like, should I pay more attention to my portfolio? Should I establish my presence online? Should I search for clients? What should I focus more? That's my question.
Well, the answer would be yes. You're trying to get work as a freelancer, and I want to make sure the terms are used correctly here. You want to be a temporary employee for other people, or you want to be an independent business owner?
Temporary, working for other people.
Okay.
If everything goes okay, then start my own.
Perfect. So you use the term correctly. You're a temporary employee for other people, so you're going to be looking at other design studios, agencies, companies that have in-house design teams, that kind of stuff. So the first thing you need to do is you just need to work on your portfolio. And your portfolio probably wants to look as good as you can humanly make it. And that doesn't mean that you finish a couple of student projects and that's your portfolio. You need to clean up the mock-ups, improve the lighting, whatever it is that you need to do to make it look gorgeous, because the image is going to sell you and your craft, okay? And what you need to do is you have a minimum of 3 pieces, just 3. You don't need 35. So somewhere between 3 to 7 pieces should do it that are focused on one specific thing that you do. So if you design identity systems, show me 3 to 7 identity systems. If you do packaging, show me 3 to 7 packages. You get the pattern, okay? Then you need to get that portfolio out there. I would recommend getting your portfolio out on Behance and Dribble and whatever else you see. I would also post it on Pinterest and create boards and put your work in there, because people are always looking for inspirational work, and backlink it to your website.
Whatever else you see,
Whoa.
also post
Whose mic is that? Oh, it's Rocky. Rocky figured that part out. Okay. Oh, Rocky, mute yourself.
Whose mic is that?
There, I muted him. Rocky, hold on. You figured it out. Okay. All right, that was crazy.
No, he's unmuted again.
No, Rocky, stop. Okay. Do not unmute yourself, Rocky. Otherwise, I have to throw you out of this room. Come on. Okay. 3 to 7 pieces with a specific focus. Share it socially. Backlink it to your website.
Come on. Okay.
Molly, are you unmuting him?
I know. I don't have access to do
Okay.
that right now.
Rocky, don't do that one more time. I just muted you. Don't unmute, all right? Okay, good. All right. Okay, so far so good. 3 to 7 pieces. Get that work out there, and then send your portfolio link to the companies that you want to work with. Now, don't go broad. I would spend a little bit of time researching and thinking about how you're a good fit for this company, and write them a email that's specific to them. I admire your work. I really enjoyed the work that you did for Nintendo or Sony or whoever it is that they're doing work for, and say, like, I would love an opportunity to meet with you and for you to review my portfolio. And if you have any overflow work, I would love to work with you. I'm available, etc. Okay? You're probably going to be limited to local companies first, local agencies and design shops. It's the easiest way to get work because you're in town. There's a familiarity issue. And when you start to build up your portfolio, you can start to expand the radius of who you can reach out to. So you can reach out to neighboring countries, and then you can go global. Okay? So you start local, kind of very focused, deliver value, talk to them, do your research, then expand after that. All right, do you have a follow-up question? Nelson?
No, that makes perfectly sense. I'm more than happy with the answer. Thank you very much.
Hey, you're welcome, man. All right, cool. Rocky, we're going to try this with you. I'm going to unmute you, Rocky.
One more chance.
Perfectly sense.
Rocky, you got to turn off your background audio on YouTube because there's a delay. Turn that all the way down, okay? Let me know when you're ready. Give me a thumbs up, and then I'll unmute you. That's a thumbs up? Okay, I'll unmute you. Oops.
Hello.
Hey, man. All right. Look at that. We can hear you. Hold on. Let me spotlight you.
Hello, Chris.
Hey, man. Okay, so tell us your name and where you're from.
I'm Rukesh Tondekar. My nickname is Rocky.
Okay.
I'm the guy from the Everest.
You're the guy from where?
From the Everest, Mount Everest.
Oh, okay.
From the country of the Everest, it's called Nepal.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, excellent. Wow. Okay, what's your question, man?
Okay. So, Chris, I've been freelancing for 3 years now. And basically, I work for clubs and companies, and what I do is like
Rocky, what's your question?
promote. Actually, I promote companies through social media, and I work for clubs. And I've been working for them, working as a freelancer since 3 years now. And I want to open a company of my own. So, how should I get started?
Start your own company?
Yes.
Okay, so you've been working as a freelancer, so you have a body of work already. Okay, and what kind of clients do you want to get?
Basically, there are a lot of design works I see around me, and I think since I've been working as a freelancer, I think I have not been able to tap into more of my opportunities. Rather, I'm stuck with the few clients that I have.
Yes. Okay. All right.
So if I have a company of my own and a bigger team,
Yep.
I think I can tap into more opportunities, which I see there are lots of them.
Okay. All right.
So I think, do you think investing in a company is the right thing to do, or should I go ahead with freelancing itself?
Okay. I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to put you on mute, okay? There, I put you on mute. All right. I'll answer your question. If you have anything else you want to follow up, go ahead and unmute yourself and talk to me. I'm going to stare at the camera right now, okay? The problem...
I can't hear you.
You cannot hear me? Of course you can. You cannot hear me right now? Turn on your speaker. You got to turn on your speaker, dude. All right, go back on YouTube.
Chris, you muted yourself.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Let me, there's gotta be like, I hate you, dude. Okay, there's the sound effect. I muted myself. I meant to mute you and I muted myself. What a genius. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna give you the answer and then we're gonna end on this one question for you, Rocky, okay? All right, typically the progression goes something like this. You're either in-house or you just graduated from school and you do freelance work. And you get work. And the work starts to feel really good and you start to make money, you feel confident, and you start to have a portfolio that you can talk about. And at some point, you get so much work that you have to bring in new people and you can start to build up your company. It doesn't sound like you're at that point right now. You're limited to the referrals that you're getting. So that's kind of tough. All right? So if you're getting referrals, that's great. One thing I would ask you to do is to ask the people that you work with right now if they know of anybody else that could use your service. You can say something literally like this, where I hope you've been happy with the creative services that I've done for you. I'm looking to expand. If you know any other companies that could use the work that I do, please let me know who they are. I would like to get in touch with them. With your permission, I'd like to reach out to them. That's one thing. That's an active role. So you're going to do sales generation by asking for referrals that way. The way that I prefer to do this is you have your website up and you have beautiful work and case studies to go with it, and you parallel that on Behance, Dribble, and wherever else you need to go. On Pinterest, we've already said this, so that you can make it a lot easier for people to find you. Now, some things that people don't do, they don't spend time building great mock-ups. They don't do great case studies. They don't include words or descriptions in their work at all. They don't do meta tagging so that people can find their work. Try to find yourself. See how hard it is to find you. Okay, so if you do graphic design, if you do editorial layouts, if you do club flyers, just type in club flyers and see who comes up. Chances are you're not going to even come up. You're not even going to be on page 100. So you're making it very difficult for people to find you, and you don't want to do that. So how do you help people find you? This begins content marketing. This begins the whole social media marketing and building an audience around the things that you do. There's a lettering artist that I love. Her name is Gemma O'Brien. And it seems like you can't turn anywhere without finding Gemma O'Brien. She's on the displays at the Apple store. Her work is in an Apple commercial. Every event that I seem to go to, Gemma O'Brien's speaking there. So she's made it very easy for people to find her. And there are probably a couple of hundred or 1,000 lettering artists, but I don't know who they are. Gemma's made it easy for me to find her. Jessica Hish has also done the same thing. She's written a couple of books. So you got to think, I'm Rocky. I got to get known out in the real world. What can I do to build my social media following? Okay? Share your process, document your work, and put it out there. Make it easy for people to find, and that's what you really need to do. Does that help you, Rocky? Okay, great. Thank you. All right. I think that's it. That's it for Zoom. Zoom, thanks for jumping on this thing with us. I am tired. I am hungry. And we gave away some things.
We did 2 things.
We gave away 2 things. Okay, so somebody's mic is on, you guys.
Should we just can't?
Come on, guys, help me out here. Hit mute. There you go. Thank you. All right. They forget sometimes. Woo! Molly, any parting thoughts? Aaron, any last thoughts before we wrap up the show? I'm going to get into my deck here. Aaron?
I think we're good.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Aaron?
Yeah, what are you doing, Aaron?
Why don't you show us what you're doing?
Let's see some of
I'm
the stuff.
drawing this guy, and he's chasing someone.
Show the camera.
Is that important to us right now?
Yeah, is that what you've been doing?
You can't see it.
No, I've been working here in the future.
Yeah,
Answering
okay.
comments.
Well, overall, it was
Yes.
a great episode. I think that you giving away 15 minutes of your time, that's key part of being a sustaining member.
Yeah,
What
you
is-
guys.
What is someone's asking about the podcast, when it's coming back?
The podcast is coming back really, really soon. We already have season 2 recorded. We're adding a couple more episodes before we start kind of releasing content, you guys. So just hang in there. We just wrapped up season 1 with the end of the Melinda Livesey series. We got a bunch of new content coming up, tons of stuff. And I don't know if you guys have done this or not, but if you haven't, do yourself a huge favor right now. Go and watch the Orlando Autocena live stream. He's incredible. And you know what? That really inspired me seeing him. And I'm going to make a painting of my own. Now, what he doesn't tell you is you have to know how to paint and you have to know how the human form is drawn. So you have to know how to draw too. But it inspired me so that I'm thinking we need to bring more artists on, Molly,
Yeah,
to go on live stream with us.
I want to do that.
And you want to be an artist on live stream?
No, I'm going to, after this stream, I'm going to research artists to find that could come on and do another demo. That's what I'm excited about.
You know what I thought, you guys, and you tell me if I'm a liar here. You tell me if I'm a liar. Where else have you gone to where you can actually learn from a master for free, for it to be entertaining, to learn about their life story and actually see their work process in real time? I don't know where you can find that. Where else can you find such a charming and good-looking host too?
Yeah,
Not many
seriously.
places. Come on. You guys need to support
So
us.
smooth.
So
Super
easy, go.
smooth. Anyways. All right. I'm going to wrap the show. I'm going to say thank you to you guys, Erica, Molly, and sometimes Aaron, for doing what you do to make this possible. For, of course, our sustaining
Thank you.
members. And those of you guys that are brave enough to jump on Zoom with us. I'm going to wrap the show. Let's cut to my deck. I want to remind you guys, you are not defined by your past. The future is what you make it. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let me get us out on some song here.